By the end of this video, you will know the 7 biggest secrets that will get you on the path to success. These are the same secrets that almost every millionaire on the face of the planet has used, and most of them are keeping them from you. And I'm going to reveal them to you today, and you have a choice to go back to what you were doing before or start to implement some of this stuff effective immediately, and hopefully you'll start to see some big changes in your life and your financial future. The first is, regardless of what business or industry you're in, you need to have a very clear goal of where you're trying to go and a simple plan to get there that does not spread yourself too thin. We are living in a time where social media is so busy, so messy, and there are distractions everywhere. There is no shortage of someone telling you that you should be doing something different to grow your business. There's 18 different social media platforms, and some people tell you that you need to be on all of them if you want to grow your business. There are endless different ways that you can build websites or sales funnels or sales systems, and we feel that the more we do, the greater chance we have of success. And so before you know it, every single day you're waking up, you're making a massive to-do list of lots of little things, hoping that those little things will compound to finally get you the result, and it's not going to happen. What millionaires know that the average folk don't is that you have to pick one thing and double down on it. If you're going to be looking for traffic to get eyeballs on your business, we're going to find one traffic source and we're going to double down on it so that we can give it maximum effort and therefore actually extract a result. If we need a website or a sales funnel, which most of you will, then we're going to pick one, we're going to build that out, and we're going to test it and tweak it until it gets results. We're not going to try a sales funnel or a website for a week, and then if it doesn't get us the result we want, we move to another one, then another one, and before you know it, you're never actually sticking to something. If we know what we want our product or service to be, and we've done our research, we know there's a market, we know that we have the expertise to execute on said product, then we're going to build out that one main product and we're going to keep moving that forward until we make sales. We're not going to keep jumping ship to another product and another product, to this endless cycle of doing more stuff and never getting the result. The second thing is making sure that you have a long-term view of where you're trying to get to. You're not always looking in the short term. Millionaires know where they want to go. They're looking down the road, they're painting the big picture, and now they're working backwards to create the steps to get there. On the contrary, people that do not have a millionaire mindset are focusing on just the one next step that they think is where they need to go next. So they're constantly making these micro moves forward, whereas a millionaire is saying, I'm going to have a business that achieves this, that has a client like this is the size of business that I want, and we work back and create a plan from there. I can share with you a personal example because I've just gone through this exercise again. One of my businesses is an online coaching business, very profitable, very lucrative, and at the moment we're at around $400,000 to $500,000 a month. We're doing about 5 to 6 million a year. What I'm doing now is I'm looking forward to what is the next goal. Well, the next big goal for us, if we look down the line, is 15 million a year. I won't get into all the details as to the makeup of that and why that's the number I chose, but that's the number. So now I know the number, now I know the destination. Now I can start working backwards. How many members of team do I need to execute on that? What will our product line look like or need to look like to be able to achieve that? How do I need to up-level myself and up-level my mindset to be the type of person that can attract that level of success? What is the mindset of my leadership team? Who's missing currently from the leadership team? I'm looking at all of these things so I can create that plan. Now for you, it might not be that big. For you, it might just be looking down the line saying, I want a business that does $30,000 a month. I want to have clients that I absolutely love and adore, and they pay me minimum $5,000 for my services because that's what I'm worth. Right now, you might think you're only worth $1,000. But big picture, you know later down the line, if you had superpowers, you would be worth $5,000 if you could up-level your mindset. So you plan that out, and now you work backwards from there. You create your steps to get to the end goal. Number 3, and this is a big one, you must train yourself to look for and execute on opportunities that are around you all the time. So many people that are not yet millionaires and are struggling on their journey to build that business and achieve financial freedom are constantly moaning about the fact that there's no opportunities for them. And there's nothing that comes across their path, and they live in the wrong area, and they don't have the right friends, they're not in the right network. We're constantly looking down and looking down on our situation as opposed to lifting our eyes up and looking for opportunities. They are absolutely everywhere. We either are not spotting them or we do spot them, but we dismiss them so quickly and don't take action on them. And that really comes from a fear to execute. And a fear to execute often comes from a fear of failure. A simple example would be wherever you are today, you probably jumped in the car for at least a few minutes on a journey somewhere today. And if I asked you to tell me how many red cars you noticed on your drive to wherever you are right now, you might say, oh, well, maybe I can draw to memory 1, maybe 2, because there was something significant that happened that involved a red car. Now imagine you do that journey again. And before you take the journey, I say to you, I will give you $100 for every single red car that you notice on that journey. You're probably going to do that exact same journey. You're going to notice 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 red cars because there was an opportunity there, but you just didn't spot it. You didn't see it until you caused yourself to look for that opportunity. So I gave you a reason to look for that opportunity. I said I'll give you $100 for every one that you notice. You need to find a way to give yourself permission to be looking for those opportunities and then seize them when they come. Number 4, you need to realize that making your first million is actually easier than making your first $100,000. The first $100,000 of any business is the challenging part. That's the slog. That's the images that you see on social media of someone pushing up a boulder up a hill. That's the hard part. When you have achieved your first $100,000, you've qualified a few things. You've qualified the fact that you know how to generate clients now. You have figured out how to get eyeballs on your stuff. You probably have a website or a sales funnel that's producing some decent results. And you have a product that the market wants to buy and you're actually selling some of that product. All of those things to get the wheels moving, that's the really hard part. Once you generate your first 6 figures in a business, you now just need to duplicate multiple times what you've already proven to work. So what can you learn from this? Well, you need to keep that long-term view in mind because right now it feels difficult, it feels hard, it feels challenging, and you have the temptation every now and again to think, if this is how hard growing a business is, I think I'm going to pack it in. But if you can just get past that initial challenge, you'll actually find that to scale your business beyond that becomes easier and easier once you break through that first pillar of 6-figure income. And number 5, some of you might not like this because you've been fed a lie by people online that is inaccurate and has perhaps set the wrong expectation for you. Number 5 is that you must have at least a little bit of money to start a business. There are many people online that say that you can start a business and start making a bunch of money with absolutely zero financial investment, and I just don't believe that's true, even if it's a small amount of money. We're talking about hiring someone to design you a logo or the software required to build your website, build your sales funnels, handle your email marketing. Every business needs a tool that can do that stuff, and a tool like that costs money. Now, you've got some software tools that are very good at combining multiple tasks together to save you money, so you're not buying endless softwares that only do one thing. Namely, it's a software that we created called Funneler. I think you should check it out. It's really, really awesome. There'll be links in the description box. But of course, there's a financial investment for that. Maybe you want to start driving some traffic and you're fed up of just posting on social media silly quotations over an image, hoping that that's going to get you clients. And you spent 6 months realizing that's not going to work and you might need to dabble in paid advertising. Well, that's going to cost you a bit of money. Dare I say, you may need to hire a coach or a mentor. Think about every single industry, every athlete, anyone that's ever done anything great, they typically have a mentor or a coach who has been there, done what they're trying to achieve, and can show them the path of least resistance to get there. It's a great ROI activity to hire a coach or a mentor, but there's a financial investment there. So you've got to kick to the curb this idea you can start a business for free. The sooner you embrace the fact that there's going to be investment needed to start your business, the sooner you'll get okay with it, the sooner you'll start making better decisions that aren't based in fear, and the sooner you'll actually start to be able to seize the opportunities that we spoke about earlier. Number 6, and this is a big secret of the millionaires and the people that actually start to move into multi-millionaire status. You must get used to and okay with the idea of reinvesting back into the business in the beginning. In that beginning phase that I told you about, where you're trying to get to 6 figures and that feels like a slog, when you eventually get there, and you start making the $5,000, the $10,000, the $15,000 a month in the business, you will start to feel like you've made it. Although you know there are other levels, there's an element to feeling like I've made it and now I'm gonna go spend. And you upgrade your house and you buy that new car and you buy the fancy watches and you do all of that stuff at that point. That is actually stunting your growth. It would be so much better for you to save the house upgrade, the car, the fancy stuff. Save that for when you are at a place where you are up at the $1 million and the 7-figure business. And in the meantime, start reinvesting back into the business. Don't try to extract too much in the beginning. Keep that money in the business. Allow that to hire your next coaches and your next mentors to get you to the next level. Invest in more traffic generation, invest in building a team. How much more valuable is it going to be for you to put some money into hiring someone who can help you grow the business as opposed to putting that money into getting a slightly more expensive car? You're going to get a much better ROI over here. Now imagine you do that with every decision in that phase. To go from 6 figures to 7 figures will be so much quicker and so much easier. Number 7, focusing on repeat business over new business. Of course, if we can be going after new leads, new customers, new clients, that's great. But the clients that are coming in, I don't think you realize right now how much extra revenue there is in clients and customers that have already bought from you that want more stuff. They come to you, they get a great result. If you don't have the next level, if you don't have the next product, if you don't offer them the same service again to help them get to the next level, then they're not gonna buy. The more offers you make, the more money you make. So clients that you've already got, keep them happy, get them the result that they came for, offer them the next level. And you will find there is a whole host of free money ready to be grabbed from clients you've already got. Couple that with your new marketing activity, and together you will have an absolute powerhouse of a business. Now, earlier on in the video, I told you that you've got to not spread yourself too thin and pick one model that can get you to that million. If you'd like to know what that one model was for me, I've got another video up here for you that shows you the one main focus that I took to grow my business to 7 figures and beyond. So go check that out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We put out great new content every single week, and give me a like on this video if this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.